Hi guys, welcome back to Kim's class. Today's lesson is going to continue talking about daily activities and household chores. We will again be talking about household chores or verbs, but in the past tense. These past tense verbs are going to be irregular. Let's go ahead and look at the lesson objectives for today. The first objective says, I can use the simple past with irregular verbs. The second objective says, I can ask and answer questions about who did what household activity in the past. Let's go ahead and look at the grammar structure for today. The first part of the structure I want to call your attention to is these irregular words and how they change. So remember, a regular verb in the past tense, you just add ed. But irregular verbs are a little tricky. I've listed some common irregular verbs that we use when we talk about household chores. So you see here that the word buy, every day I buy groceries, turns into bought. Every day I get dressed. Yesterday I got. Every day I do dishes. Yesterday I did dishes. Every day I make dinner. Yesterday I made dinner. Every month I pay bills. Yesterday I paid bills. Every day I sweep the floor. Yesterday I swept the floor. So those verbs that we see here are irregular. Don't add ed like you would for a regular verb. So now that we've talked about that, let's go ahead and look at some statements using these verbs. We're going to see positive statements and negative statements. So first we see, I paid the bills. I didn't pay the bills. He paid the bills. He didn't pay the bills. She paid the bills. She didn't pay the bills. They paid the bills. They didn't pay the bills. Isn't it great that we don't have to remember how to change the verb when the pronoun changes? So in these statements here and in the past, the verb stays the same, whether it's I or he. Makes it a little easier, doesn't it? I'm going to show you some examples and have you practice writing some sentences with statements. Go ahead and let's take a look at some practice activities now. For this practice activity, you're going to see a paragraph about Anna's very busy day. I would like you to write in the blank the correct form of the irregular verb listed below. Don't use the verb that's listed like it is. I want you to change it to an irregular past verb. Why don't you pause the video now and go ahead and write this paragraph using those correct verbs. When you've finished writing your sentences, go ahead and turn it back on and I'll give you the correct answers. So here is what you should have. Yesterday, Anna was very busy. First, she went to the supermarket and bought food. When she got home, she made dinner. After dinner, she did the dishes and swept the floor. When she finished, she paid the bills. How'd you do? I bet you did great. Let's go ahead and continue practicing that grammar structure, but now we're going to ask and answer questions. Let's look at the structure here. The question is asking who bought groceries last week, who paid the bills, who dusted, who swept the floor. Let's look at the answers. Who bought groceries last week? I did. Who bought groceries last week? You did. Who bought groceries last week? He did. Who bought groceries last week? She did. Who bought groceries last week? They did. You will see once again that that verb did doesn't change. It doesn't matter what the pronoun is before it. Let's go ahead and practice writing some sentences using that structure. So here you see a chart. The chart has the names of the people in the house and what chores they did. Remember that the word chores is an activity or a verb that describes something you do around the house. So as you can see, we have Dawn and Peter, Peter, Lynn and Sue, Sue, Lynn, and Dawn. Next to their names, you have the chores that they did. Take a look at these 6 sentences and answer them in complete sentences. You can either use their names or the pronoun. Both would be fine. Go ahead and pause this video, write your answers, numbers 1 through 6, and when you finish, turn the video back on and I'll go over the answers. So let's look at the answers. Number 1, who washed the windows? Answer, Dawn and Peter did. Number 2, what did Peter do? He cooked lunch. Number 3, who bought groceries? Answer, Lynn and Sue did. Number 4, who washed the dishes? Sue did. Number 5, who vacuumed the rug? Answer, Lynn did. Number 6, what did Dawn do? Answer, he made the beds. So hopefully that was some good practice in answering and asking questions. Let's go ahead and look at today's objectives and see how we did. The first objective says, I can use the simple past with irregular verbs. We're starting to work on that, aren't we? The next objective says, I can ask and answer questions about who did what household activity or chore in the past. And we just did that, didn't we? So that's the end of today's lesson. If you've enjoyed being my student as much as I have enjoyed being your teacher, I'd like to ask you to do 4 things for me. Is that okay? The first thing I'd like you to do is to like this video by pushing the like button. The next thing, make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you can get updates every time I post a new video. The third thing I'd like you to do is if you have friends or family that would enjoy taking free English lessons in Kim's class, share this video with them. And the last and fourth thing I'd like you to do is to make a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you thought of this video, or maybe what else you'd like me to teach. But for now, thank you for coming to Kim's class, and thank you for allowing me to come on this journey with you to learn English. See you next time. Bye-bye.